Hi, I'm CC and I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to be reading the Big Book with you. Today's video is the foreword to the first edition. First, explanation and disclaimer. The first 164 pages of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous are no longer under copyright. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy the Big Book. I encourage everyone to purchase the latest edition for themselves. There's a great benefit to having your own book so you can write in it. In addition, the stories at the back of the book are going to be revised with each edition. You may find stories and people that you can better identify with in newer editions. Finally, the explanations that I provide are my own understanding. I'm speaking only for myself. This is the foreword to the first edition as it appeared in the first printing of the first edition in 1939, more than 90 years ago. We of Alcoholics Anonymous are more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. To show other alcoholics precisely how we have recovered is the main purpose of this book. For them, we hope these pages will prove so convincing that no further authentication will be necessary. We think this account of our experiences will help everyone to better understand the alcoholic. Many do not comprehend that the alcoholic is a very sick person. And besides, we are sure that our way of living has its advantages for all. Let's unpack this first paragraph. There's a lot going on here. In the very first sentence, there's a word seemingly, a seemingly hopeless state of mind. What they mean is it appears to be hopeless. When we're in the middle of alcoholism, when we're in the middle of our disease, it seems hopeless, but it's not. And that's the purpose of that word. It's an apparently hopeless state of mind. Now look at the first two sentences. The book was written by the first 100 men and women who believed they had recovered from alcoholism. More than 90 years ago, the world was a very different place. There was no internet. Telephones were few and expensive. People wrote letters and read books. In that time and place, this book was written as a manual. It was written as the how-to so that other people could get a copy in the mail, open it, and learn how to recover from alcoholism. And the next sentence, the authors hope that the pages alone are so convincing that we, the readers, won't need further authentication. Well, lucky for us, we have AA, we have meetings. Anytime you hear a speaker talk about his or her past experience, that person is providing authentication. They are telling us that, hey, that's an alcoholic and she's sober now. Maybe if I pay attention to what she says, I can learn something. But the genius of the Big Book is even without meetings, if we read and follow the Big Book, it might be enough. Next, this book is supposed to help everybody understand the alcoholic because many people at that time and even today didn't comprehend that the alcoholic is a very sick person. If you're like me, when you were in the middle of your addiction, you thought of yourself, or at least I thought of myself, as weak-willed, as immoral, as a loser, as a failure. I did not think of myself as a sick person who needed something different in order to recover. Well, that's the purpose of the Big Book. It's to discuss what our disease is and the steps to recovery. And last of all, if you, like me, find AA a good way of life, you're going to agree that we all could benefit from more honesty. It is important that we remain anonymous because we are too few at present to handle the overwhelming number of personal appeals which may result from this publication. Being mostly business or professional folk, we could not well carry on our occupations in such an event. We would like it understood that our alcoholic work is an avocation. Now, an avocation is the opposite of a vocation. A vocation is your calling. In professional life, it's the career you are called to, the one that hopefully is going to make you enough money so you can provide for yourself and family, and ideally give you a sense of pride in your work. The avocation is sometimes described as a hobby, or it can be something you're passionate about, but it's not how you're going to make your living. So that's the first explanation. Now, why did these guys want to remain anonymous? Well, imagine that you won the lottery tomorrow. Everybody who knows you is going to come out of the woodwork and asking you for a loan. That's how these guys felt. Back more than 90 years ago, nobody had the answer to alcoholism, and the people who wrote the book were afraid that if they spent so much time trying to help other alcoholics, they couldn't be business or professional folk. They couldn't be doctors or lawyers or nurses or dentists. And so they're requesting anonymity. And also keep in mind that idea of the business professional folk when you're looking at the language. This book was written by people who were well educated back at the turn of the century. So the kind of words they're going to use may seem a little weird to us. All right, next section. When writing or speaking publicly about alcoholism, we urge each of our fellowship to omit his personal name, designating himself instead as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. Very earnestly, we ask the press also to observe this request, for otherwise we shall be greatly handicapped. Again, this goes back to the idea that everything was new and these people wanted to kind of go under the radar. Now at the meetings, we do state our name or our nickname. I would introduce myself as, hey, I'm CC and I'm an alcoholic. But other than that, yes, we do want to maintain our anonymity. This section is really important, and if you go to an AA meeting, you're going to find something similar to this often read at the beginning of the meeting. Here goes the language. We are not an organization in the conventional sense of the word. There are no dues or fees whatsoever. The only requirement for membership is an honest desire to stop drinking. We are not allied with any particular faith, sect, or denomination, nor do we oppose anyone. We simply wish to be helpful to those who are afflicted. All right, again, important paragraph. This organization is revolutionary. We're not conventional, we're not normal because we don't have fees, we don't have dues, we don't have a board of directors in the usual sense of the word. It's all group conscience, and it only works because we're anonymous. To become a member, you don't even need to stop drinking. You only need to want to stop drinking. I have to admit, there were times I went to meetings drunk. I didn't know how else to stop drinking. At least for the hour I was in the meeting, I wasn't drinking. And so if you see somebody at a meeting and you can tell they've tied one on, as long as they're not bothering anybody, just leave them alone. Even in their inebriated state, they may be hearing something that could get them sober the next day. Next section, we're not allied with any particular faith. That means we're not Muslims or Christians or Jews or Hindus or Wiccans, or any other kind of faith. We're not a sect. We are not Sunnis. We are not Shiites. We are not Catholics or Protestants or Lutherans. We don't belong to any particular denomination. In AA, we are just AA. Nor do we oppose anybody. That means we're not here to point the finger at anybody else and say, you're doing it wrong. No, the genius of AA is we only try to show what we ourselves are doing right and hope that it helps somebody else. Last word, afflicted. When somebody is afflicted, it means they're suffering. They have a disease or a condition that prevents them from being fully healthy. And if that doesn't describe alcoholism, I don't know what else does. Last of all, we shall be interested to hear from those who are getting results from this book, particularly from those who have commenced work with other alcoholics. We should like to be helpful to such cases. Inquiry by scientific, medical, and religious societies will be welcomed. Signed off by Alcoholics Anonymous. Again, this whole thing was very new, and the writers of the book were hoping for feedback, for words of wisdom on how to do AA better. Similarly, I look forward to your feedback so I can do better as well. I'm CC, and I'm an alcoholic. I hope you have a sober day. Remember, if you don't take the first drink, you won't get drunk, and you only have to do it for today. Take care and God bless.